Are you tired of feeling stuck, like your dreams are always just out of reach? What if the only thing holding you back is the way you think? Miyamoto Musashi, the undefeated samurai, mastered not just the sword but the mind, unlocking a way of thinking that turned the impossible into reality. In this video, you'll discover how to think bigger, break through limits, and achieve what others say can't be done. Step 1. Adopt a limitless mindset. The foundation of achieving the impossible starts with how you think. Most people unknowingly limit themselves by accepting the boundaries society or their past experiences have set. These boundaries, however, are not real, they're merely perceptions. To break through these barriers, you must adopt a mindset that sees no limits, a mindset that believes anything is possible if you put your mind and effort into it. Miyamoto Musashi understood that to achieve greatness, one must think beyond the ordinary. He didn't let the limitations of his time or his circumstances define what he could achieve. As a samurai, Musashi was faced with immense challenges and constant danger, but he didn't view these situations as obstacles. Instead, he saw them as opportunities to test his abilities and expand his potential. He knew that the greatest enemy is not the external world, but the limitations we place on ourselves. To adopt a limitless mindset, you must first identify and confront the limiting beliefs that have shaped your life. Ask yourself, what's holding me back? Why do I believe this is impossible? These questions are powerful tools for self-awareness and reflection. Often, the answers lie in fear or comfort zones that have been built over time. Once you identify these limitations, you can start to dismantle them. Next, challenge yourself to think bigger. Instead of aiming for small, easily achievable goals, set audacious goals that excite you and push you out of your comfort zone. Musashi didn't just want to be a skilled swordsman, he wanted to master the way of the sword and become legendary. His mindset was rooted in the belief that he could always grow, learn, and evolve, no matter how high the stakes or difficult the path. By adopting a limitless mindset, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. You stop seeing the world through a lens of scarcity and instead begin to view it as a canvas full of opportunities. The first step to achieving the impossible is realizing that your mind is the key to unlocking your potential. Believe that there are no limits to what you can achieve, and watch as doors to success begin to open. Step 2. Ask what if, instead of why. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in your thinking is to stop asking why, and start asking what if. The question why often leads us down a path of excuses, limitations, and self-doubt. It's a question that keeps us stuck in a place of understanding our obstacles but rarely gives us a solution. For example, when faced with a challenge, asking why is this so difficult? Or why can't I succeed? Puts the focus on the problem rather than a solution. On the other hand, what if opens up a world of possibilities. This simple shift in mindset moves you from a place of restriction to one of creativity and innovation. Instead of questioning the reason something is impossible, you begin to wonder what could happen if you approached the problem from a new angle or considered an alternative route. Musashi himself was known for thinking outside the conventional framework. He didn't ask, "Why is my opponent so strong?" Instead, he asked, "What if I could turn their strength into my advantage?" This mindset allowed him to devise unconventional strategies that led to his undefeated record in battle. By adopting the what-if mindset, you'll stop seeing problems as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. When you ask, what if, you open the door to infinite possibilities, enabling you to envision creative solutions and take bold steps toward the impossible. Step 3. Expose yourself to bigger ideas. Your mind is like a sponge. It absorbs whatever you feed it. If you only surround yourself with small ideas, you will think small. But if you expose yourself to big ideas, ambitious thinkers, and revolutionary concepts, your mind will naturally expand. The greatest achievers in history did not settle for the world as it was. They sought knowledge, challenged norms, and embraced new ways of thinking. Miyamoto Musashi was not just a warrior, he was a philosopher, an artist, and a strategist. He studied different disciplines to sharpen his mind, believing that mastery in one area could be applied to all aspects of life. He once said, You should study all things with no bias. This means that true growth happens when you open yourself up to knowledge from all sources. To think bigger, you must deliberately seek out ideas that challenge your current perspective. Read books written by great minds, people who defied limits and changed the world. Travel to new places and experience different cultures to understand alternative ways of thinking. Surround yourself with ambitious people who encourage you to dream bigger. The more you expose yourself to expansive ideas, the more you will realize that the impossible is only an illusion. Step 4. Detach from conventional thinking. Most people follow a predictable path in life because it feels safe. They are taught to think within the limits set by society, follow the rules, stay within the lines, and avoid taking risks. But those who achieve the impossible are the ones who dare to question these norms. They do not blindly accept what they are told. Instead, they carve their own path. Miyamoto Musashi lived by this principle. He rejected the traditional schools of swordsmanship and created his own unique style, which focused on wielding two swords at once. At the time, this was considered unconventional, even reckless. But Musashi was not concerned with what others thought. He was only focused on mastering his craft in the most effective way possible. His ability to detach from conventional thinking made him unbeatable. To think bigger and achieve the impossible, you must train yourself to question everything. Ask yourself, is there a better way to do this? Am I following this path because I truly believe in it, or because it's what society expects? What rules am I blindly following that may not actually serve me? Musashi once said, "Do nothing which is of no use." In other words, if something does not help you grow or push you toward your goals, let it go. The world will always try to box you in, but only those who break free will ever reach greatness. Step 5. Raise your standards. Thinking bigger is not just about vision. It's about expecting more from yourself in every area of life. If you want to achieve the impossible, you must first believe that you are capable of something greater. This belief is not just about confidence. It's about the standards you set for yourself. Miyamoto Musashi lived by an unshakable code of discipline and mastery. He wrote, "You can only fight the way you practice." In other words, the results you get in life are a direct reflection of the standards you hold yourself to. If you settle for mediocrity in your habits, your mindset, and your actions, you will never reach greatness. But if you demand excellence from yourself, if you refuse to accept anything less, you will rise to a level that most people never reach. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not just talent or intelligence, it's their baseline expectations for themselves. High achievers do not settle for good enough. They push themselves harder, work longer, and refine their skills endlessly. They do not make excuses and they do not tolerate laziness. They set higher goals and then they meet them. Musashi's way was the way of mastery. He understood that the mind and body must be trained constantly. He did not practice only when he felt like it. He trained with absolute commitment every single day. That is the level of dedication required to achieve the impossible. If you want to raise your standards, start with these 3 things. Refuse to tolerate mediocrity. Stop accepting average results in your work, health, relationships, and personal growth. Push yourself beyond your limits. If something is difficult, embrace it. Growth only happens when you step outside your comfort zone. Hold yourself accountable. Do not wait for others to push you. Be the one who demands more from yourself. When you raise your standards, your mindset shifts. You start to expect more, and as a result, you achieve more. The impossible becomes possible because you refuse to accept anything less. Step 6. Act like the person you want to become. One of the most powerful principles of success is this. You don't become successful and then start acting like a successful person. You act like one first. Your thoughts, habits, and daily actions determine the person you will become. If you want to achieve the impossible, you must start behaving as if you are already that person. Miyamoto Musashi understood this deeply. He did not wait until he was a great swordsman to train like one. He dedicated himself to discipline, strategy, and mastery long before he became a legend. His mindset was simple: you can only fight the way you practice. This means that your preparation and daily actions shape your future reality. If you want to be a leader, think and act like one. If you want to be a master of your craft, train like a master every single day. Develop the habits of your future self. Ask yourself, what does the best version of me do daily? How does that person think, work, and make decisions? Then, start aligning your actions with that vision. Dress, speak, and carry yourself with confidence. The way you present yourself influences how others see you and how you see yourself. Surround yourself with people who reflect your future, not your past. If you want to level up, spend time with those who inspire and challenge you to grow. Musashi did not just practice swordsmanship. He embodied the mindset of an undefeated warrior in everything he did. If you want to achieve greatness, you must do the same. Step 7. Build an obsession with execution. Thinking big is only the first step toward achieving the impossible. The next and perhaps most crucial step is execution, taking relentless, consistent action toward your goals. Without execution, your big ideas remain just that, ideas. Musashi understood the importance of action. He didn't just strategize or study, he did. He spent hours practicing his swordsmanship, refining his techniques, and perfecting his craft. He wrote, "The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to fight." This speaks to the power of preparation and execution. He trained to the point where victory was inevitable without even needing to engage in battle. To build an obsession with execution, you must develop the discipline to take action every day, no matter how small the task. It's about turning your dreams into daily habits. The key is consistency. Progress doesn't come from sporadic bursts of effort, but from steady, unrelenting action toward your vision. Taking action immediately. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The moment is now. Focusing on the process, not just the result. Enjoy the journey of progress rather than obsessing over the end goal. Refining your actions. Constantly evaluate and adjust your methods. Failure is part of the process, but it's only failure if you don't learn from it and keep going. By building this obsession with execution, you'll turn your big thinking into tangible results. Musashi didn't just think about winning battles. He executed every strategy, every move, with precision. The same can be true for you. Your success lies in the relentless pursuit of your goals. Keep executing, and the impossible will become possible.